Before we start today's video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post a new video. Oh, do it. Hello and welcome to Kick-Ons. My name is Art Simone, and on this week's episode we have extra special guest star, Etcetera Etcetera.
Oh, it's good to be back in your little garage, and this time I brought with me something special.
Oh, what?
The bubonic plague.
Oh, thank you. I haven't had that one yet.
Oh, good. It's like a gift that keeps on giving until you're dead.
Oh, that's all right. That's just a metaphor for life, isn't it?
I love you.
You coming to Kick-Ons?
Infamously, last season, you didn't want to tell me what you've been up to. How about now?
Nothing's changed, and the world keeps turning. I've been doing a lot of things, actually. I have been waking up in the morning. I've been going for a run. One of those, I've got one of those apps where you check where you've been running and you can compete with your people in your local area.
Wow, have you got a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or something?
No, it just tracks your phone and then you run and it checks where you've been. I'm not beating anyone in my local area.
Oh, well, that's all right. What else have you been up to, though? You know, how is World Pride? You know, you've done a campaign for Calvin Klein.
Yeah. Like, I'm so successful, beautiful, funny, and talented, but if I talk about all of that, I think they'll think I'm conceited or something.
Oh, that's true.
I'm not up myself.
Drag Race Down Under. What are your thoughts so far of the season?
Look, it's been definitely episodes that have played on a TV.
Not even that. Maybe a computer screen.
Well, I watch it on TV because I'm rich and famous. But I would say that it's definitely giving me a little bit of reality TV. I'm actually a little bit gagging and living for the slay that the queens are presenting, especially in their confessionals.
Are you speaking as if you're chat GPT, whatever it is? Are you a robot?
Are you accusing me of being an AI?
Yeah, are you AI?
I'm not even I. It's got the vibe that I like. I'm enjoying certain parts of it, and other parts I think I'm not enjoying, but that's okay because we can talk about that.
Yeah.
I would give it currently, I'd say a B-.
Oh, that's brave.
Is that good? B-? Yeah,
it's actually pretty good. People would be happy with that.
To be fair, it's only been 2 episodes.
Yes.
So they could either get better or they could get worse. It's like someone with a terminal disease. This season is like someone with a terminal disease. It could get better or it could get worse. But either way, it's going to end.
Now, before we get into this episode, it's time for the disclaimer. Don't send any hate comments or death threats to any of the queens. There are so many better things you could be doing with your time, like learning Marissa Tomei's monologue from My Cousin Eddie. All right. But before we get into it fully, I'm thirsty.
Oh, I just want a big cup of pee.
Are you thirsty? Oh, let's welcome the official tro, our tradie of the season. Oh! You shot her! You shot her right in the back! Oh!
I'll let you know that I'll be contacting my lawyers for that one. You better have public liability insurance. Fucking hell, cunt. You can't say cunt on YouTube, but you can bleep it.
That's right. You didn't have the mic in.
Cunt. What is this? What's alcohol?
Episode starts off rather abruptly because, remember last week, we didn't have an elimination.
Do you think that Rue hated it? Do you think Rue was like, oh, I'm really excited to come in extra early at 6 a.m. to film this? Or do you think he was like, I wish I just sent one of them home last week?
No, I think Rue's living for it because she hams it up. She pulls out a fly swatter.
Now, violence against bugs, Australia says no. But you know what I liked? I liked that she's having fun.
I don't understand what the reference was there. Unless they're referring back to episode 1 where there was a fly.
Yeah, I think they were going back to Floor's fly.
Why wasn't there a fly in episode 2 to kind of carry on through?
I think the buzzing noise in episode 2 is Ashley Madison.
That's true,
it wasn't quite a fly, but it kind of carried over in a narrative sense.
Well, Rue's sitting there and then the 2 girls walk out in different outfits.
Yeah, they got to change.
Which I say, no. I say they should have taken a nap like this overnight and then gone back on stage in their hideous runway couture.
I actually really liked Rita's outfit. I think it was the nicest thing she's worn so far. It was really nice. Ivory was repping a local queer Sydney designer, Yukana.
Rita walks out in like a dance outfit, but then Ivory's in a gown. I know it's limited with what you bring to Drag Race because you don't account for an extra lip sync outfit like they do on All Stars. But I don't know, Ivory, I would have, especially when you know what the song is, which is Murder on the Dance Floor, Maybe not wear a gown.
Maybe she was like, if I faint again, it's kind of cushioned. It might soften my fall. I still think that it didn't really change the outcome.
Way, yeah.
I mean, Rita's a dancer. Apparently, I've heard that around the towns and everything.
She has said that multiple times, yeah.
So I think, she came into that challenge guns a-blazing. And if I had fainted the night beforehand, I would probably turn up the next day and be like, send me across the Tasman Sea. I want to go home and have a fucking lem sip.
Murder on the dance floor. No murders were occurring except for a crystal clacker to a nail-free hand.
Yeah, it's kind of like Jesus if you think about it.
Yeah,
when they drove the nail through his head.
Yeah.
It's the stigmata of Australian drag is a crystal clear through the palm of the hand. Do you think that a crystal clacker accounts for any of the fatalities every year in the national death
By the way, a
statistics?
crystal clacker is one of those clear plastic shoes that are strapless, and everyone that wears them with stockings look like they've got mannequin feet. They're drag standard across the country because people just chuck them on because they go with any outfit or don't go with any outfit.
Who are you talking to?
So we watched the lip sync. It was like watching on a Thursday a baby drag at Molly's Bar and Diner. There was a couple of awkward death drops, shablams, collapses.
It felt like when you're rehearsing a production show, but you're not wearing the costumes and there's no audience there and you're there in the daytime and you're like, I'm going to do the dance.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, with Rue sitting there out of drag watching you, I probably would have given as much energy as Rue was giving, but sometimes he was giving more energy in the lip sync.
Rue was way too more, was lip syncing more than most of the girls. But we don't find out who wins.
Yeah, which was a bit of a cock tease, to be honest, because I think we could see pretty clearly.
We don't know because we go into the opening title. The girls are talking at the table. Miss Hollywood is doing some wonderful reality TV drama in which she is sitting there writing 2 letters. One to Ivory because she would like her wig if she's eliminated, and one to Rita if she's eliminated.
I've written a letter to Ivory asking for her lovely wig. I've written a letter to Rita. Hope you go home, you pig. Look, I think it's camp because I think Holly is finally, I think in the first episode she was like, catchphrase, catchphrase, catchphrase. But I think she's finally starting to understand the nuance of reality TV, which is about playing it up for camera.
I also feel she's just being silly now.
Which is good.
The first episode and the second, to a degree, she was like, I'm cunty fierce, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, instead of just letting herself be that and then being in on the joke. Whereas now, she started well because she was in on the joke. She was being silly. She's not really writing a fucking letter. She's just producing some TV.
And you know what? Drag Race is not about actually how much attention you pull in the runways or the challenges. It's actually about the attention that you pull in moments like that. So she kind of made the episode about her in that moment. She was like, I'm commanding the space. And good on you, Miss Holly. Someone's got to do it. Like, a lot of these girls are standing there looking at the fucking camera. Should I talk now? Holly said, no, this is my 15 minutes and I'm going to grab it and use it. So props to you, mama.
G'day, g'day, g'day.
Oh, it's Rupaul.
It's Rupaul. Rupaul walks in after the lip sync. All right, the girls don't know who is coming back to the workroom to live another day. And Ru says, I'd like to welcome back to the competition, Art Simone.
Do you get a royalty check for that?
Ru clearly didn't know who the fuck I was because she was like, Art Simone.
Checking the writing on her hand. Fart Simon.
She's like, who the fuck is that?
Who is that?
I don't know.
Can you imagine the gag, though, if you did come back this episode?
I would have come back just to walk in the workroom and then walk out again.
Yeah.
I would have paid for my own fucking flight to New Zealand and walked in and been like, jokes. Like that time when Bianca pretended to be a lip sync assassin. And she walked in, she's like, nah, and then walked off. I would have done that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'll do anything for attention. You're here with me.
Exactly. So, unfortunately, I am not walking back into the workroom, but instead we welcome back Rita Menu.
I know. But we got a little sad bit where Ivory didn't even get, the full shabana manama of the farewell.
They get Rita into the room. Yay! And they just cut to Ivory's side stage being like, well, at least I got to 3 episodes.
And I liked how her exit line was kind of a cover letter to reapplying for her job at the bank. She said, is the bank still hiring?
Oh, that's a bit sad though, isn't it?
No, she's good. Hi, Ivory. Hope you're well, doll.
Oh, because she left her job at the bank though, didn't she?
Yeah, but everyone leaves their job at the bank at one point. They either stay at the bank or they leave the bank or they die. Like, everyone leaves the bank.
They find out that this week's challenge is a scripted / improvisational acting challenge themed to the Real Housewives. I've only seen bits of the Real Housewives of Melbourne because Gina Liano is my queen. I'm not too up to date with all the different franchises. Which one's your favourite?
They're my favorite in different ways. If I want to watch really rich women
Because
being
you've met
out
Andy
of...
Cohen.
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite aging gay top.
Oh, yes. We just found out he's the top again.
Yeah, just again. He told us again.
Yes.
Yeah, well, this one's to you, Beverly Kills. Get your man.
Daddy.
I love Real Housewives of LA when I want to watch rich, out of touch women like be glamorous and beautiful. But New York when I want them to be glamorous and delusional. And I watch Sydney when I want them to be glamorous and awful. So I was interested to see what route they were going to take. Housewives aren't meant to be perfect. They're not meant to be aspirational. They're actually meant to be terrible, out of touch, delusional people that you look at and you go, oh my God, that's horrible.
It is so funny how the world celebrates these women for saying the most horrendous, mean, crass, disgusting things. Yet if they came out of any other person's mouth, they'd be cancelled instantly.
Well, that's the problem these days. The housewives are being cancelled. You know, they're being sanitized. And it's like, I don't watch Housewives to see a woman and go, I want to be her. I watch it and go, far out. I don't want to be anything like her ever. But it's fun to watch. It's like watching a car crash you can't look away from, which is kind of akin to the challenge this episode. It was like a car crash.
A very long car crash.
It was a car crash that was like a car that crashed into a bus, and then the bus crashed into a tree that crashed
then they went
into
down
a
the
car.
hill
Yeah.
into the ocean.
Yep.
And then some floated up, but then the sharks came and ate them.
And the plane crashed in.
Yeah, it was trying to save them. Before we start the acting challenge, we need to split them into groups. So we get 2 team captains, one being Isis Avis Loren, the winner from last week, and the other one being Miss Rita Menu, who has just won the lip sync. Who would be the first person that you'd pick?
Probably Gab.
Yes.
Just because she has a really good sense, from what I've seen on the season so far, of banter.
Yes.
And for an improv challenge, I want someone who's able to keep up with me, not someone who's dragging me down. Or maybe Bumper, just because she does have that natural charisma, which comes off as really funny.
I would have gone Gab or even Floor, just because I know Floor will just say something ridiculous, and at least it's better than like sinking back into, nothing and being like,
yeah, Floor's going to at least go balls to the wall.
Yeah.
You know how as drag queens, how we're drag queens, we kind of elevate aspects of our own personality to do what we do.
Yeah.
This is kind of like cheese on top of cheese. They really need to turn their drag characters into bigger versions of themselves. And some people are capable of that. And some people doing drag is the furthest they can go.
While we're picking the teams, Isis is taking forever. And then Rue just like cracks and is like, you have to pick someone. Don't waste RuPaul's time. As 2 people that have been on set with RuPaul, she does not like her time being wasted whatsoever.
I thought you were going to say it's 2 people who've wasted RuPaul's time. Look,
but like when she's on there, she's like bang, 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 especially with these moments in the workroom. She's like, all right, next. So we split up our teams. First team, we have Isis, Gab, Holly, Ivana. And on the second team, we have Rita, Bumper, Floor, and Ash. Isis almost pulls rank above Gabriella because they're fighting over a Shazza character.
She does what?
Pulls rank.
Is she allowed to do that on TV?
Isis goes, I helped all of you last week and I need to be able to shine, and this is the character that I need to shine.
Which, to be honest, is always a bold move unless you know you're going to do well. Because the producers are seeing that and they go, well, you better be fucking good if you're making a fuss over it.
I do enjoy her having an opinion for the first time this season, though.
Well, I think she's coming off the high of winning, you know? Just like a lot of drag queens walk on stage after they've smoked meth and perform. She walked into that challenge and she said, I'm going to do well. She was on that high, baby.
So Isis gets her Shazza character. Gab says, I'll do whatever.
I think this is the reason why Gab was picked first. And I think the reason why she feels comfortable in this situation is because she knows she has this skill set of not being scared of looking like a bit of a dickhead, which is something that actually a lot of queens go on Drag Race and they go, ooh, fierce, fierce, slay, slay. I've got to be perfect. I've got to be sickening. And like, yeah, some of us are like perfect and sickening. But like, you've got to let your guard down and be a bit of an idiot sometimes too. I would choose the character that is like myself.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, that's what Gabriella ends up doing.
Yeah.
Because she just kind of is Gabriella. And if anything, she's a bit toned back. She's just like, oh, they're just these and da-da-da-da-da. And
yeah, if you look back at all of the acting challenges in Drag Race, it's always the people that choose the most similar characters to their own personalities that do well. Like Alyssa Edwards is the same and she is amazing in every acting challenge, except the one she went home on.
So we go over to the other team. Ashley has decided she doesn't want to pick anyone that's too like herself. So she doesn't want anyone that's too glamorous.
Yeah, which, you know, I'm glad she's so self-aware.
If you want to support the team here at Kick-Ons and see all the bits that we cut out of this episode, then make sure you head on over to our Patreon and become one of our subscribers. You could be like Vuk here, who gets to ask us questions like this. Thanks, Vuk. Surprisingly, we just go straight into seeing the finished product of the challenge. I don't know if anyone else watching was as confused as we were. We weren't seeing them walk onto a set like we're used to, like we've been trained in the world of Drag Race, that they walk onto the set, they say hi to the person that's directing.
Yeah, and I love the green screen like little bit because you get to see how it's also filmed on the main stage and how little money they have to spend on this country's Drag Race.
The scripted bits are the green screen moments, and then the improv bit is the section with Reese on the couch.
So they start off with something that's very iconic for all Real Housewife fans, and that's the housewife tagline. So that's when they're on the green screen, they turn around and they're like, I sleep well at night, but I sleep better with your husband. Like, it's that kind of vibe.
Yes.
And I was really pleasantly surprised because that's a great calling card for Housewives fans. So my favorite Housewives tagline is from Ramona Singer from Housewives of New York. And she says, I'm an acquired taste. If you don't like me, acquire some taste. Like, that's what I'm talking. It's Cam. It's got to be Cam. It's going to be a little bit sassy. None of them really stuck out to me as being like knockout housewife lines. It's like a Drag Race entrance line. It's got to be short, punchy, to the point, and if you waffle on for too long, no one pays attention.
And the best thing is usually just a play on words.
What would your housewives tagline be?
Hello.
That's good.
Yeah, what do you think?
Mine would be I'm just like a cookie jar because your man's got his hand up me.
Well,
wait, hang
that
on.
doesn't make sense. You just
Wait, no,
what
I've
about
got it
in?
again, yeah.
In, yeah.
I'm just like a cookie jar because your man's got his hands in me. You know, melting moments? Yeah, they got a little cream in the middle.
Yeah. Gabriella says, you can't pick your family, but you can pick your nose.
Which is a good one. That's a good one.
Look, I'm going to be honest. This is one of the longest challenges, and it was so confusing because they went between the improvisational challenge to these weird scripted scenes. They're all looking over here, clearly reading things word for word. Isis has made a very choice, like for someone who's called Shazza.
Well, I think she was trying to go for Lisa Vanderpump, who's a very well-known British housewife on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And she's kind of like a very prim and proper character. But the problem is it didn't quite read because the name was Shazza. And it would have been better to parody
and
that
they
as
mentioned,
like a bogan.
Yeah, and they mentioned her like named Shazza a few times. I would have loved that Shazza was someone that like came into money and she doesn't know what to fucking do with it. So she's just like, oh yeah, well anyway, love, we just go down to your love.
Housewives is just all about rich women having lunch and kind of being slightly catty. Yeah. It's not this whole like acted out scene with all, it just was too confusing. There's a formula to Housewives.
Someone was selling dildos. Gab was following around. Ivana was like Crystal Lady. Yeah. They should have just sat down with Reese. And Reese started off the cues with all of them, was like, oh, and the first thing that happened in this year's season was you two, that fight that happened. What was it about again? And then you let them go and talk about the fight.
Should have run like that challenge on, I think it was season 10, where the Bossy Rossi with like Aquaria and Eureka as the big babies, and they did that thing. The issue is so-and-so has a problem with so-and-so. Yep. Now you've got to fight it out.
You're finally back in the same room. We know you hate each other's guts. Blah, 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 blah.
Because I actually didn't mind the couch stuff. Yeah. When I was watching the improv on the couch.
The couch was more entertaining than all of that.
There was some good moments, but then when it kept cutting back and forth, I was like, go back to the couch. Like the girls in the moment. I did like watching Gab improv. I liked watching Bumper improv. I loved watching Floor improv. Like I didn't really know what was going on, but it was funny.
Because half the lines were like scripted and half were improv, it was almost like a disconnect between characters. It's like the way they played it when they were reading the lines was completely different to how they played it when they're on the couch, and there wasn't a lot of continuity with a lot of them.
I really don't want to have to relearn the wheel when I'm watching TV when I'm slightly drunk.
It was just really hard to follow. And look, maybe they didn't have the time to set it up because we had the lip sync at the beginning and then the reintroduction and the goodbye and blah, 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 that we lost time in our, 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen who was struggling while they were filming, who was excelling, and then seen that play into the challenge.
Yes.
Because as I was watching, I was like, I don't know the context.
Yeah.
I don't know who did well learning their lines, who did badly.
Yeah. For the next group, all I can say is floor. Because that's all I remember.
She really played up the big hair
Yeah.
and she held herself in a certain way. I was really impressed by her, even though I didn't know what was going on.
I don't think she knew what was going on. But at least she decided what her character was going to be and committed to it. Even sang a song about her nipples.
It's so beautiful when a woman can take control of her situation and make it positive for herself. They've never done a Housewives challenge on Drag Race before, and I know a lot of people were waiting for it and being like, oh, this is so exciting. We get like this first kind of moment. I would have devoured that challenge. Well, I think I would have, but I don't think I would have in this setup.
No,
Even as someone with intense Housewives knowledge, I don't think I would have in that
it
setup.
wouldn't even been appreciated. Today's episode is brought to you by Manic Panic, vegan and cruelty-free since 1977. 100% independently woman-owned and the long-lasting colour behind my signature atomic turquoise hair. Well, under this gorgeous hair. I mean, hat. Well, thanks, Manic Panic. It is. During the challenge, they don't really show anyone messing up, especially during the improvisation section. But they do show Rita. Don't tell me that was the only moment in all of the 300 hours of footage they have, the only mistake that happened.
Oh, but the storyline. Oh, but the storyline. Oh, but the storyline. I just think that Rita was unlucky enough to be included in the edit. And if, look, no one else messed up, it would be the first time on any TV or film set ever that no one made a mistake. And to be fair, her mistake wasn't even that big.
No, she just kind of like chilled for a second.
But, props to Ashley Madison for coming in and helping her sister out. She
Yeah.
could have let her just fluster. I'm sure other people had a little slip up. What's wrong? Did I come too close?
No, just...
Did you throw up a bit in your mouth?
Wow, that Patreon segment, really.
Did you throw up a little in your mouth?
No.
Can I taste? Can you spit a bit out on a spoon and baby bird me?
Speaking of, though, I am a bit thirsty, so could we bring a beverage? Jesus Christ, my phone.
Arrivederci! The sweet taste of mother's milk. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Are you watching? I'm here on TV. My mum does watch kick-ons. My mum every week tells me whether she likes your outfit or not. Last week, no. She liked your outfit first week, though. Fuck. It's like doing a fucking show with a pig. It's fucking grown up and learned how to talk and walk. You're like the pig from The Simpsons. Spider pig does whatever a spider pig does.
Forget about the challenge. It's done. We don't
Forgotten.
care. The girls go back in the workroom for the next day. They're getting ready for the main stage.
That wasn't a sad mirror talk this episode.
There were some close-up fisheye shots of Gabriella, so they were the sad moments. Because in that fisheye lens, you can see the actual size of the workroom.
And the workroom is so small. You know how like a micro penis is a very small penis?
Mhm.
It's a micro workroom.
Yeah. Do, 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 do.
Hey, hey.
Do, 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 do,
Mother's
do,
here.
do, 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 do,
Hey,
do,
hey,
do,
hey.
do, do,
Wop,
do,
wop,
do,
wop.
do, do, do,
Serving
do,
up
do,
some
do.
pussy.
Rupaul.
Whoa, whoa. And she looks like she shit herself from the waist down.
From the waist up, camp. I like it.
It looks like she went to Byron Bay, bought a beautiful tie-dye dress, and then her colostomy bag burst.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, well, guess I still got to wear it. Only
Well,
5 minutes till main
Apparently,
stage.
the Drag Race Down Under studio a week before filming flooded.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so maybe her dress was hanging up there.
You know what? I like when Rue wears something terrible because it reminds all of us that not everyone has good days. That's the end of the statement. You can move on.
For the first time in history, we have direct from the United States
A famous person.
A famous person that everyone actually knows. We have Adam Lambert.
Adam Lambert, my high school crush.
Oh, if I had you.
Ooh. Would you fuck Adam Lambert?
Absolutely.
He's a top.
Well, he looks like one.
Yeah, apparently he's got a big dick.
Actually,
I've heard that.
I want to admit something. No. Because he follows me on Instagram.
I can't. Now we're getting into the tea.
No, he follows me on Instagram. When he was in Melbourne for something, I like slid into his DMs and I was like, hey, you're in Melbourne. I was like, fuck it. I'm bored. I was like, hey, you're in Melbourne, blah, 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 blah. And then he left me on red. So so then I unsent the messages so they never existed.
He really said, what do you want from me? I would fuck Adam Lambert and I would enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Do you think he's the most famous judge that we've had on Drag Race Down Under so far?
In the room, yes.
Yeah, because Kylie was not in the
Kylie,
room.
yeah. And it's time for the runway. The runway theme is Bad Girls Gone Bad.
And we can relate to that because we're bad girls gone worse.
What would you have decided to wear?
I would have come as the greatest reality TV villain of all time, myself. And right now I know that there's an electroshock fan writing in the comments, oh, you were such a bully. Well, guess what? I'm worse than you could ever imagine.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I'm a mean bitch and I hate everyone.
It's like...
You look like shit and you should die.
It's like she's designed something to cause me pain.
To everyone at home, kill yourself.
I wonder what that nose looks like without the contour.
I hate you.
Alrighty, first up, down the runway, we have Miss Rita Menu.
Now, I think she looked really nice.
I loved it. I mean, it took me a while because she was like, hello. I love it. It looks like a fun costume. The hair's cool. The makeup's great. The prop was made really well.
She really sold it with good conviction.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really strong runway. And I also really liked how she did interesting makeup.
Yep.
I'd only seen her in kind of Instagram pretty makeup to this point. So to do something that was a bit more, severe and editorial, I think it actually showcased a lot of her skills this week. And I thought it was strong.
This is the best she's looked all season. For me, it's a tits.
It's a tits for me, Rita. You get a big juicy pair of titties from me, Rita Menu. Can I order off that menu? I'd like to order something like this again.
Next up, down the runway, we have Miss Bumper Love.
I'm obsessed with her verse. My name's Bumper Love and I'm a super queen.
She is a Leah. She's the queen of the damned. It's not bad.
The accessories looked really nice. They looked really well made and put together. I think the garment itself was the letdown. The kind of fabric used looked a little bit cheap. And sometimes that is just under studio lights, There's some things that I made and I was like, this is going to look so good on the runway. And I watched it back on TV and I was like, under those studio lights, it looks cheap. I think that she styled it nicely. The accessories were nice. Her hair and makeup looked nice for once.
It's hard because some girls have gone full cosplay. Here's the person I'm doing. Others have gone inspired by. She's definitely kind of more on the inspired by side because we do have another version of this character a little bit later on, which is a much better. But for me, I'm going to give it a soft tit for me.
I'm going to shits it because I thought it looked cheap. That's all.
All right, beautiful. Oh, we've got Floor as Yzma.
I really liked it. I also liked how, Emperor's New Groove is a story set in South America. She's Guatemalan. There's a cultural connection maybe there. It was a very camp, but also the costume was well enough made that I could appreciate it as a runway itself, which I think is the balance, and what we didn't see with Bumper. You can sell a character, but still give us a costume, still give us a look. And I really liked Floor's. I loved the ostrich feather coming out from the neck. It was dramatic. It was beautiful. And the touch of purple, it just made me all happy to see a little bit of color amongst all that black.
Yeah, I like the outfit. It needed an updo. It needed something tall because it really just... The feathers go to the same height as her head, so it makes her neck look really short. After seeing, I believe it was Shea Coulee do Yzma years ago, and she had this... it was incredible. I've got that expectation. But without that, it's still a tits to me, but just some styling would have been different. I would have liked a bit more purple somewhere.
Yeah, it's a tits for me. Obviously, you can elevate things like this to the nth degree. but I liked her interpretation of it. If they walked down the runway and we didn't know the theme, would I look at it and say, is this a passable look? And for Floor, this is a good look.
All right, next up down the runway, we have Ashley Madison as Catwoman. I like it. I don't like the wig, but it's minor details. I think it's Catwoman done differently. It's fun. I mean, Catwoman is known for being like slinky and sexy, and she's got that up top. She's turned it into a gown, so maybe Catwoman's gone out to an evening fair. But it's my favorite thing that Ashley's worn so far, so I like it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was I actually thought it was really sexy. I thought it like turned Catwoman from like the expected version of it into something that was really something that I would see someone like RuPaul wearing, you know? It was a real classic big gown with like lots of drama, classic kind of silhouette.
Yeah, it's definitely a tits to me. I love it.
Yeah, the only thing that I would have added was maybe like a headpiece detail. Was there a headpiece detail?
Well,
like
there was, she had the mask with the cat ears, but you kind of lost it with the Mitzi that was on top.
No, see, that's fine. I actually think it's fine. I give it I definitely give this look a tit.
Yeah.
I appreciated the reference. I thought it was quite clever.
Yeah. I genuinely got excited when I saw it go around the corner. I was like, oh.
Like, I know those kind of materials can sometimes look a bit weird.
The fit's great. I love it.
Fit's great. Yeah, really good. At least we didn't see Ashley Madison's nipples this week. They were within several layers of PVC.
I would have accepted 8 little nipples on the front like a kitty cat.
Yeah, well, she could have done cutouts.
Reveals.
A window.
Next up down the runway, we have Ivana Drink as Catwoman.
And I mean, to be honest, if she'd walked out just as this without Ashley coming before her, it might have been a passable look. But the fact that Ashley walked out in such a well put together referential look and then she came out, it was a bit of like a by comparison, it's a bit weak.
And there wasn't as much thought put into this in ways to elevate it or make it your own. It was a black latex catsuit. It was definitely latex. Like, that looked hot, the poor bitch. Bring a big whip and actually do a full whip crack.
Yeah.
Give me something a little bit more. But as Michelle said, her body looked incredible. You know, it's just a shame it was straight after Ashley's.
Well, we're doing drag here.
Yes.
There needs to be something that elevates it from the character that we saw in the movie.
Yes.
And there needs to be something that brings it into drama. And I just want to correct you. It definitely wasn't latex. It was 100% PVC.
You think so?
100%. Because there is no way that she would have been able to afford a latex. Well, that's what I was thinking. Like
well, that was the only points I was giving it because I was like, it looks like latex. So like,
nah.
No, because all the seams are flat because they glue them.
I think it was 100% PVC. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just don't think a girl with Ivana's costume repertoire and skill set when it comes to garments would squeeze herself into a head-to-toe latex outfit because that's incredibly complex to do unless you're like a fetish expert. Unless her and Anita are getting into latex skin suits and fucking in the bedroom, I don't think she's doing it.
Well, no, because PVC usually has that shine to it, and this was already dull by the time she walked off the main stage, so we'll find out in the comments soon anyway.
Well, we can bet. I'll bet you $1 that it wasn't latex.
Okay. Either way, I'm going to give it a shits because we had Ashley Madison beforehand and, you know, I wasn't wowed or given any extra drag to it. So it's a shit.
It needed extra drag, so I'm going to say shits as well.
Next up down the runway, we have Miss Isis Avis Loren. She is the Countess. She is Lady Gaga, American Horror Story.
Yeah, I think it's a really good recreation of the Countess look. I thought it was really good. I thought it was a little bit safe. I would have liked a bit more drama. But, you know, it was definitely passable. It was a good look, put together head to toe like Isis always is. Filled the brief. You know what I would have loved? I would have loved a gag. I would have liked her to come out. Mouthful of blood. I know it's tacky. I know drag queens have all done it, but it would have been good for that moment, you know? And then, you know, she get her fingers in there. She could flick some at Rue.
Or just some like vampire.
She could have gotten to the end of the runway. She could have taken her teeth out.
For me, it's a tits. I loved it.
It's a tits for me as well. Tits to you, Isis.
And also clever girl because that black dress is going to get so much fucking use.
Oh, yeah.
Stunning.
Absolutely. And I want the hair. I think she's really beautiful. I think Isis is really beautiful.
And next up down the runway, we have another Aaliyah, Queen of the Damned. It's Hollywood star.
Yeah, and I thought the embellishment on this one was a little bit better. The jeweling was a little bit better. The way she sold it with those beautiful oiled up legs. She came down the runway. It was a bit more sexy. For me, it was a little bit better.
Yeah, it's definitely better than the other one. It's definitely a tits. The details, it was beautiful. I can't fault it. So
yeah, I really can't. Another strong week for Holly on the runway.
Yeah.
Even like she just sells it really well. I think she knows her body and she knows what to wear to give a good proportion. She loves to walk down and show off those lovely long lallies. That's Polari for
short,
legs.
But
she's not short. She's my height. What are you saying?
Not.
Holly is the same height as me.
Really?
100%.
I must have had really high heels on last time I saw her.
Yeah, well, you're a towering, monstrous man.
Finally, down the runway, we have Miss Gabrielle Labucci, roller derby, sucker punch version. I don't know, but Gabriella, I love you. The outfits are shit.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say. It is a shits. It looked sad.
I'm going to say the only points I gave it was her roller skating. So if I cut off her feet, which I, can't really do. If I cut off her feet, do I like the outfit? Absolutely not.
Yeah, but to be fair, moving on wheels doesn't get any brownie points on Drag Race. Look at Minnie Cooper. Last
Got
year,
eliminated.
she moved on wheels, gave her nothing. To be honest, without the wheels, bad outfit. With the wheels, bad outfit.
Yeah. The ponytails are a bit too flaccid and like small. They could have done with some extra teasing and volume. The cut of the leotard was bizarre. But she had a good time, but it's still shits.
Yeah, I don't care if she had a good time. It was a shits.
So, runway's finished. We line up the girls. Holly and Ashley are safe.
Yeah, back into the workroom for you. Safe as tits.
Yes. Then we go down the line. Everyone's really surprised because Bumper's placed high. They loved Bumper in the challenge. Gab is placed high as well, but she does get the feedback from Michelle that her makeup is concerning.
Yeah, and I mean, thank God someone's being honest in that moment. But, I think that Michelle is always going to pick at something that, isn't perfect because she has a job. She's a judge. And Gabriella's makeup isn't as strong as some of the other girls. So that's the point. I mean, she's so funny and charismatic. You've got to pick at something about her. Yeah. Otherwise, it would be a walkover.
Makeup's an easy fix. Not too much commotion in Untucked. Let's bring the girls back. We find out that the winner this week is Gabrielle Labucci.
Yeah, she snatched the fake housewife's crown, and to be honest, it looks good on her.
Yeah.
Especially on those flaccid ponytails.
And she could now go on a vacation cruise with Vakaya. The others are safe. We've got Isis who's safe, who says, "Call me, Adam. Adam, call me." And he goes,
To be honest, if you were Adam Lambert, you have eligible gay bachelors on speed
well, I was
dial.
in his DMs. He's got me.
Yeah.
In the bottom, we have Miss Ivana Drink and Rita Menu yet again. The lip sync song is an Adam Lambert song.
Holding out for a hero.
Yes.
2 out of the 3 lip syncs on Drag Race Down Under this season have been to male vocalists. So cast Drag Kings when challenge.
TTT.
But there were some strong moments. I like when Rita took off her skirt to reveal she was actually wearing shorts
Under
underneath.
a bike short.
Yeah, I love a short reveal. Why aren't we revealing more shorts?
No, skort. I think Ivana did the better lip sync, but they just refused to give her any close-ups of her actually lip syncing. But looking at the full shots when she was dancing and twirling and doing her thing, she had better musicality and rhythm and awareness of the stage. Like, she was way better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I liked her lip sync better, but, they have to send her home the same episode as Anita. Otherwise, there'll be marital discourse.
That is true. She did do better. There could have been a rift.
But I think it's important to recognize that the art of the lip sync is very much in the art of the edit. And if we'd gotten more screen time with Ivana with some positive comments from the people out the back, she would have won.
Yep.
But we got the opposite edit. And to be honest, it didn't matter what either of them were doing at this point. It's all about that. We got Hollywood jumping and saying, Rita is fierce. She's turning it out. And then Rue says, goodbye.
Yes, sachet away, Ivana Drink. I feel like she just wasn't favoured within the production and the edit. Last week, they put her in for a storyline. I mean, I guess she got the airtime. I'm glad we got to meet her because I think she's a really great addition to the family.
She honestly represents, I think, a certain brand of drag so well.
Well, at this point, who's your pick to win?
I would say between Hollywood and Isis. I think Isis has the pedigree, like a prize pooch, to snatch that crown hunty, yes, Miss God. But I think Hollywood has the fire and she has the attitude that reality TV needs for you to be a superstar ochre hunty.
Yeah, I'm definitely sitting between Isis, Holly, and Floor at the moment.
Oh, yeah,
I think Floor just because she is a lunatic. I love it. Doesn't take herself too seriously, but yet serves ultimate cunt. Well, etc, etc. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here on the Pink Porch for Kick-Ons. Thank you so much for joining us. But yeah, the sun's rising, so I think it's time you left.
Oh no, I'll turn to dust and fade away like a little withering woman. I better run. Oh, let me grab my beautiful fur boa and not show off my beautiful natural ass. Where do I go?
Bye!
Bye!
Anyway, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Goodbye.
Oh, and sorry to Dina Curry, one of our favourite patrons, for spelling your name wrong for the last 2 episodes.